fuck they
They
called
were just
themselves.
like chronologists, basically. You know,
Exactly,
they
exactly.
were
They
like
didn't just
recording. They were recording the time span of kings in their own measurements, and then like this
exactly.
guy ruled from this time to this time, and then we have to extrapolate. Okay, what
And
is this
nobody
time
knew.
that they're
Yeah,
talking about? Because it's yeah,
yeah, and they're talking about two things. They're talking about like evolution and history and religion in like one fucking
And you
go. That's not
think
how we
no
do
one
things.
talked
We
about
don't
that
do shit like
before they
that, dude.
came along? You don't think the elders or whatever religion belief that they got, the chief somehow held the documents or the stories of all the people, but they went to the historian as though they didn't call him that to tell them all of their history.
Who?
How does he
I know,
differ
I
from
know.
some
Go
white
ahead
guy
and
who comes along and names the history and suddenly he discovered it? That's insane.
well, it's not about white guys because they weren't white. I'm not talking
It's
about white guys. I'm talking about Greek motherfuckers. So they were not white. They actually considered Europeans to be barbarians. So
well, yeah.
I'm talking about Africans and Greeks, really. Who started this shit. I
there's
mean, it just is. A lot of the Greek knowledge came from Egypt. And Egypt was, you look at Egypt, India, Mesopotamia, and China. Civilization wasn't made everywhere, and where it did develop, they had similar concepts, and where it did develop, they created subjects of study and they created experts. This division of labor is what civilization is based on, and those subjects created what we know today as the various areas of studies. This constituted
You
in a
know,
desacralization of knowledge. I mean,
you
they
don't
had to
think they
divide
had the
knowledge from the
business of
sacred.
labor subjects, area of studies before the Egyptians? Of
Not
course they
in
did.
a not in a rudimentary and systematic fashion. And the more
Banned on that
rudimentary
channel too, motherfucker.
but yeah, the more rudimentary and complex this pattern became of their subject area of study, the more you could isolate it and term it a subject area, a well-defined subject area, which they still have problems doing today. They don't really, they
That's
don't
what you're
really,
talking
there's
about,
a
yeah, they don't
defining.
really
no he-
consider the compartmentalization of knowledge today. They go, well, history is like physics, and physics is like philosophy. It's like fucking all mixed. They can't do it
no.
today.
Well, I mean,
We have a hard time
there are
doing
some
history
hard
today.
sciences. There's some hard sciences, and history is not really a hard science. It's
Exactly.
there's a lot of
So and that's
like
the science
philosophy
we're
is not a
talking
hard
about.
science.
We're talking about
Agreed.
when was science created. See, that's a historical question,
When
isn't
was
it? That's the
philosophy
problem. I mean,
created?
right?
Machine
It's a
lies. When
non-scientific
was
question.
philosophy created? Machine
That's
lies.
yeah, I okay. The
This
question I
should
think
solve
the
our
problem
question.
is that
Am I answer my
but
question?
hold on one second. Hold on one second. So basically, the issue is there could have been philosophers, but they never recorded their like philosophy. They might have been a couple guys herding sheep somewhere,
You know what they called
thousands
them?
of
They
years
called them
ago.
sages.
Yeah, and but they never recorded anything, and they just had some conversations about existence, and you could call them philosophers, but like philosophy, quote unquote, in terms of like a subject, was invented back like a long time ago when people actually started writing down shit, and then they were like able to like categorize like this line of thinking or that line of thinking, and that's where philosophy really started to flourish in my mind.
The Sumerians are
I don't
attributed
know
with
that
the
I'm
first
convinced that
written.
this conversation matters.
You seem to
It
Well,
think
feels
I'm
like
that.
we're
trying.
nitpicking shit that we don't actually know about.
The Sumerians, this I
Yeah.
think, the Sumerians were the first people attributed with the written language. They were already clearly philosophers. These are the ones we get the tablets, what they got the Bible from, all these ancient stories. These guys were well into philosophy when writing touched down.
Okay, but
Yeah,
can we trust that the Sumerians were the first of the civilizations? Can we trust that?
No, no, no.
I
I'm
don't
saying
know.
that it's attributed to writing. The oldest tablets we can find are from the Sumerians, and they have all the stories, the same stories that are in the Bible, the virgin birth,
According
all
to
of that.
whom?
According to the people who deciphered it, I can't read none of it. And some the
Like
machine lies was
cuneiforms?
talking about. They also talk about it. Looks like people came fuck with our DNA and turned some of it off. That's also in those same tablets.
So the cuneiforms is the oldest writing system compared to what the hieroglyphics, or like there's a
Yes,
writing
it's
system
much
in
so
India
like
before Sanskrit called
yes,
the Brahmi, right?
yes, yes. The earliest, I don't know. Google it right quick. They'll tell you Sumerians is the oldest.
Well, that's what they say.
That's why I mentioned the aliens from another somewhere came over here and just put us all in here and just sat back to watch us see it grow. You know, it's like here I just planted that seed out there.
I don't
You know,
believe that.
But there's a story of
well, I
that in
mean,
there.
you can believe like that's just why I'm really weird about the word belief because people can believe that the sky is plaid and polka dot all they want. It doesn't make it real. I mean, that's why I like knowing. Knowing is what I strive for, is not belief.
Do
We
you
know shit
know? Do you
because of
know
the
that
amoeba.
aliens came and
No,
from
I don't
somewhere
know
else? Is
that.
that
I'm
what you
just
know?
showing that
Right.
as a theory. That's a theory that is possible of where the origin came from. All right. I'm just
I
saying that
understand
that's a
that it is just
theory.
a theory.
Yeah.
I don't adhere to it. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I mean by I
Right.
don't believe that
Right.
that's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, and they got some good evidence. Well, some shit that may give it a little more credibility and
I mean,
weight.
No. Okay, so
that was the reason why I was
can,
going there,
can,
Joe, is because you
can I
mentioned
talk for 2 seconds?
genetic stuff. Go ahead.
You
Man,
Bear.
all the ways with these ways we talk about everything.
Bear, we're
Go
waiting
ahead,
on
guys.
you. You
Whoever's
have a delay.
go ahead.
I think Bear has a delay. We're waiting on
Yeah,
you, Bear.
Bear's ruminating on some shit. Let him cook for real quick.
I don't know if I'm there.
Yeah, go ahead, Bear. I don't know if you lagging out or what's your deal is, Holmes. Yeah,
I think
go
I'm
ahead.
delayed. But
For sure.
anyways, like with math and
I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but we're
He's just
having a
got a really
meltdown in
long
the
delay.
ability to communicate. Is it your connection? Is it your brain? Is it your mouth? Is it my end?
I think he's got like a 10-second delay. So as soon as he starts hearing it,
Oh.
we start talking.
Oh, yes,
I
YouTube
think
video
I
on.
know. I think I know what's going on. I think Bearsworth is really blowed right now or some shit. He's on some drugs or some shit.
Yeah, that'll
I got this YouTube
account for
video
the
on.
He's trying to
delay.
collect his thoughts, but it's cool, man.
What are you doing over there?
Some shit, yo.
He's
Is
frozen.
he frozen? He's
Oh, he's
frozen, I
actually
think.
frozen. Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bearsworth,
yeah.
try coming back in. Your connection's fucked.
Oh no, yeah, it was just
Oh,
his
that's
connection.
me.
Yeah. Shit, that looked trippy though. I thought he went into the corner and just started staring.
I
at the
thought he
wall.
was standing there too, just like staring at
Yeah,
the.
I was about to say I was wrong.
I'm like,
Flow
this
is
dude's
right.
about to bust out and do some wild shit.
His mind is broken. Flows right.
And,
So I mean,
He's staring at a wall. His mind's fucked up.
like,
I mean, history again. Go ahead. Sorry.
I have nothing to say.
No, I was just going to say, like, history, so far as we know, it's like we have to. That's another like messed up thing. Like according to Anatoly Fomenko, basically he's saying like all the history that we've been given is basically coming from the Jesuit line of Scaliger and Petavius, and everybody else after that from the 1500s have regurgitated the same information and over again. So when you go and look at the information that he's providing, basically he's saying that many like hundreds if not over 1,000 years been injected, and our time of like being introduced to Gregorian calendar and the Julian calendar is also introduced to us to fuck with our perception of time, right? See, because history and chronology go hand in hand. Like our ability to like count time accurately is directly linked with our ability to categorize and put historical narrative in a frame, right? So his premise is that like multiple events actually been duplicated, a time of a certain king, and him making like a bridge and going to battle and making a castle and stuff like that. That's an event that has happened, and later on it's repeated again, but the location has changed, the names have changed,
Well, just to
right?
let you know, it's kind of because I know what you're talking about. This theory is actually based on Gunnar Heinsohn, his theory of phantom time, and a lot of and actually Gunnar Heinsohn actually proposed that late antiquity, the period that's commonly known as late antiquity, from like the time of Jesus to the time of Islam, roughly 100 AD to 1100 AD was all fake. So he thought that it just went from the birth of Jesus straight to Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So here, this is gonna be a callback, Nachikita. Um, that worked on you because you think we can have cycles without time when cycles imply time. Cycles don't work unless there's time. So what I do is
Paradigm,
I
yeah.
focus on the story bits and not necessarily worry about the actual time. I just go based on the steps. Otherwise, you get confused.
I'm not following. Can you explain yourself? If somebody is understanding this, can you interpret what the Hank is
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
So I go
it's
based on the ticks of the clock, not some kind of special time.
Well, no, the way
else.
I see it, honestly, is I think the first observation of time is just the sound of our heartbeat, and that was our first measurement of time. That was us as humans.
Okay.
That's what we have actually understood, and how we can measure time, because we just listen to our heartbeat because it has a time. All right, and
Yeah, but
and
your
that's how
heartbeat
it all.
changes. If you're
But that
running, your heartbeat
but
is
that
going faster.
but that rhythm, that time is what actually, you think about it, the measurement, even the ticks of the second hand, it's it holds a time, it holds a rhythm. It's the same thing as
But
a
a
heartbeat. I think
second
that was
is
the first, in my
consistent.
opinion, that was
I
my
like it, Wingnut.
sorry.
This is why you're a moron, Rocky.
So,
Like, what is
so
stupid
I'm
fucking
trying to get.
comment?
I'm trying to understand what Hank is saying. I don't understand what you're saying, Hank. Please.
Yes. So instead of going on some kind of ethereal idea clock, I go based on the clock right in front of me, the events that happen right in front of me, and I use them as the clock. So when something changes, I just count the changes rather than
Well, that made it less
guesstimate what in
clear.
a magic ethereal clock somewhere else says.
Machine lies interpret,
What clock?
because I thought I knew what he was saying, and now I don't anymore.
Well, he's just saying that
What
it's a
clock are you
paradigm.
talking about?
Like that it's your paradigm of believing in cyclical time rather than linear time that's preventing you from understanding the mysteries. Is kind of what Hank is trying to say. Is that correct, Hank?
Affirmative.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to explain, what Flamenco was trying to get at, is that basically 1,000 years been injected into our history to confuse where we are and what timeline we are in. Okay, and so how that has been done is that events have happened and they've been duplicated or even triplicated. Like but the names have changed and locations have changed, but it's the same people, it's the same event. Okay, it's just the names have changed and the locations have changed. That's to make us believe that, oh, so they're just filling in the gaps. They're filling in the gaps of that 1,000 years, and they're just injecting it with other things, and that's probabilistically proven according to his statistical analysis of, like, he calls it like a kind of like a fingerprint of events. So events have show like kind of like a key. Like if you have a key, you have like different ups and downs. So this is how he's graphing it. And if that key matches another key, right, then what are the probability that they would match like that?
I don't know, but this is what the artist formerly known as flow state, currently known as clock, would call looping.
Yeah, I was
Why is
just
it
about
looping?
to ask, is anybody have a place that this conversation is going, or are we just kind of drifting around and need refocused?
Nobody
I think
seems
we're
to
going
understand what
somewhere.
I'm talking about. So I
think we're
guess
Nobody
going
understands
it
what
sounds
anybody's
like I'm
talking
looping.
about.
I
Everybody's just
understand.
trying to talk. We're waiting our turn to talk.
I know where this is going.
Where's it going?
Pretty much where it's going is that since I focus on the stories, I don't get confused by phantom time stuff. But since Natsuki is focused on some kind of ideal clock, he gets trapped by the Mandela effect. His model is just not very. His model is not that efficient. That's
Well, the
where it's going.
Mandela effect
Please,
is a
let's
perfect
not-
exercise
yeah.
in groupthink and self-gaslighting.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Can
do
we
you
not
guys
go into
remember?
that?
Okay, what about this one thing? I kind of remembered it this way. Did you remember it that way? You did too. Okay, good. That's a Mandela. Timelines must be out of fucking control, man.
Oh my gosh. There's no point in talking about it.
I love it, Flo.
Okay, let me then reshift or kind of adjust a little bit. Machine Lies, are you familiar with Nietzsche on morality?
Nietzsche on morality?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I read Genealogy of Morals.
I
and-
just sort of learned about it the other night, and it's fantastic and very interesting. We should move it there.
He's got some
Oh yeah,
great
you know about it too.
He's got
Who
some
else?
great books, yeah.
You guys know? Am I the last one to learn about this?
Yes.
Look at I highly recommend the Machine Lies episode 7. I read hundreds of passages of Nietzsche and describe his moral system. So, you know, I would definitely look into that one. You know, we could definitely have a very long discussion. I gave almost a 3-hour lecture on Nietzsche and philosophy, but yeah, you know, on my channel, but yeah.
So originally when I kind of started going down the stream, I was going down the path of if God's this thing, if this, then this, and this, and I don't think, and where I left off on that train of thought is I don't believe that that right and wrong or good and evil is actually a thing from God's perspective. I think it's our interpretation of our experience, but that part of free will is that you know we're given the right to do with it what we want, and if we choose to be miserable, we've chosen that.
Well, he just thought that
Well, that's where I left off with I was kind of trying to walk one into the other because I think that just the little brief introduction I've had to Nietzsche's sort of three things, right? Like
he's great.
kind of like it's like, well, this makes a lot of fucking sense, and it walks easily into sort of my
I want to talk about your shit, Flo. I heard you talk about it earlier, but I'm talking to my girl right now. But I definitely want to talk about that theory.
Are you familiar with Nietzsche's perspective on morality? What is it, a treatise or I don't know? You know who Nietzsche is, and what do you think about morality?
I don't know what perspective you're talking about, though.
Yeah, he's got this concept of slave morality and master morality. That's kind of the walk in to the discussion. It's usually like Nietzsche 101 is this concept,
Right,
you know, and he actually claims that the master morality is involved with richness, beauty, health, and power, you know, and it's not concerned with poorness, suffering, weakness, that it simply affirms strength, wealth, power, and all of these things, and it doesn't care a shred about people who think like the goal of life is to end suffering. For example, he says that that's a totally ridiculous goal. The best thing you'll do by thinking that is create a society of sufferers. You know what I mean? But he says, if you actually consider, the goal, as not healing the negative aspects, but in actually affirming the positive aspects of human nature, that you will actually create a like a fucking dope society. Right. It's kind of what he says. Yeah. And he further claims that not many people will end up on the top of that type of society. It's gonna be like,
he also went through sort of like a history of morality and how the idea of good and bad sort of originated out of aristocratic thinking, right? The good was the rich and powerful, and the bad was the commoners. And then I don't try to remember. It morphed somehow to where there's the aristocrats and the priesthood. Since the aristocrats had the power, the priesthood had to get clever. And so they started really implementing morality and right and wrong and good and evil. This system of to leverage it as their power source, and I believe that he sort of associated them, like the priesthood was associated with the Jews, and the aristocrats were with the Romans, right? As sort of references.
Yeah, master
was
and
kinda
slave
his-
morality.
yeah.
Aristocrats, master morality. Priesthood,
Yep.
slave morality.
Yeah, and then
So then you get slave morality, which is basically the virtue of weakness, right? It's
yeah, exactly. Yeah. The virtue
and
of
master morality, which is more sort of proactive and positive, and less like, well, you know, being rich is evil, and fucking turn the other cheek.
He's got this whole passage where he talks about how the lambs despise the vultures. You know,
Hold on, sorry, pause. Rocky, you have got to be fucking with me with this comment right here. Okay, go ahead.
Well, he had this concept. He tells this funny story about how these hawks you know, they really are despised by these lambs, you know, and the lambs always tell each other about bad stories about the hawks. They say hawks are like horrible, you know what I mean? They eat first of all, they eat lambs, so it's terrible, you know what I mean, right? And somebody tells the hawk this, and the hawk laughs, you know, and says you know, I love nothing better than a fat docile lamb that hates hawks, you know what I mean? You know, because that's the kind that's not going to do anything to run away. You know what I mean? Right. So when I'm trying to eat it, you know what I mean, it's one that's already accepted its fate. And that was kind of Nietzsche's whole proposition, that it can't be that nature is mute, you know, the way that Plato and the Bible tell us. And he was one of those people who actually claimed, this idea that secular science comes from or is an extension of Platonism through Christianity. That concept actually comes from Nietzsche. He believed that the secular worldview is an extension of the religious worldview, because it believes that nature is mute and it has nothing to say. Where Nietzsche proposed that nature actually prizes richness, beauty, health, and you can even see it in the animal kingdom, you know. Yeah.
So, good and evil. All right, this is where I'm weird about it. Is like the idea of, or good and bad. Let's not use the word evil. Let's say good and bad was not a concept in humans' minds before the church and government, I guess, lack of better words, came into play. I don't see that as a reality. I
mean, it's kind of hard to. It's an unfamiliar concept, but it's like kind of sit with it for a minute, because it's and then out of good and bad comes guilt and shame, which are internalized control systems, right? Which is something that's always been of interest to me, is how important remorse is at sentencing in our courts. I mean, it's critical. If you don't show remorse at sentencing, you're fucked. Yeah. And so why would that even be? It's an internalized control system. It's guilt and shame are almost always of detriment to the individual holding them.
Brilliant, Flo.
That's why people like me and Joe don't feel any of it. But yeah, no, it's like I get it. It's sort of an uncomfortable, or it's a weird concept if you're first hearing about it, and it still is sort of a weird concept to me. But yeah, just let it roll around your brain for a minute.
Well, he actually thought, because of this fact of nature, the most hardest or the most free thinkers actually grow up in the most puritanical societies.
What is this? Your classic card? Is there some digits on the back too?
Allegedly. Some people may say that this isn't a back. I'm showing Rocky Shepherd that I have receipts that my library is bigger than his library.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a credit card. Get that one out of here. We already know Rocky's a
Library
moron.
card.
He's just like digging into the absurdity of his claims. So
Yeah.
Anyways, carry on. The machine lies. If you were a lobster, Jordan Peterson would tell you clean your fucking room.
Well, it's just a background, but yeah, you know what I mean. It is what it is. But yeah, it's actually AI art, and AI actually made that image, which is a very strange image for it to have made because it reflects, I think, nostalgia and pain and.
What did you have it do?
Well, I just found the image. I just simply found this image on Twitter, and then copied it. Yeah, but
Well,
I
that's
don't
cool
know
that you chose for your background something that Satan made.
Yeah,
Well, I was sitting there thinking about it when it comes down to the good and bad scenario. All right, because I mean, it's, I don't know. I think that's also passed on, from father to son, whatever. But it's kind of like showing you, like, all right, the if you stick your hand in that fire, it's going to get burned. All right. Some kids just do not really listen to anybody telling them this stuff. They're going to have to stick their hand in that fire just to find out for themselves what's
Shout
going to
out to
happen.
those kids.
Well, I mean, that's what is, I think that good and bad is one of those things in a sense. It's like it's something that's always around. All right, when somebody comes up and just walk past you and just slaps you in the face, is that that's not good. That's
I mean,
actually a bad thing.
But no, you don't know that. Instinctually, you know that it made you mad, right? But you don't.
I know it wasn't a good thing.
Well, I mean, but you don't actually have a value judgment initially, primarily. Your reaction is anger, but that's it. It's not expanded into a bigger thing of good or bad or right or wrong, right? It's not
if it was a good thing that I got slapped in the face, would I get angry?
The good and the bad is the framework that's applied to the anger. The response itself, the anger, is the primary response. Without any actual, it's not until after the fact when you then contextualize the experience that the bigger narrative of this was a bad thing comes into play. That's a place construct. It's not inherent to the experience. The experience is somebody slapped me. I'm going to slap that motherfucker back. But it's not a moral value judgment. I would suggest. I'm still sort of getting, comfortable with this thought process.
I'm trying to follow you there, Flo. Don't worry.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Because I tend to question a lot of things. Because I mean, seriously, I see a lot of stuff out there that I have more questions than I have answers. I know I don't have all the answers. That's all.
Yeah, I mean the whole right, wrong, good, bad. These are all broader concepts. These are making bigger claims. The claim is bigger than the individual, right? I'm not just angry because somebody hit me, right? This is it expands it into this is actually like a cosmic bad thing. God doesn't like it. It really inflates the importance of every action. And so if you do something that's out of line, if you step out of line, it inflates what the fuck is wrong with you. And it's a great tool for keeping people in check.
Well, yeah, that fear of God scenario,
or the guilt and shame, guilt.
Yeah, well, that's part of the fearing God, because you fear going in front of Him and being judged. It's
they're different. I mean, those are different. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm splitting hairs, but those are different emotions, and they're more effective than fear. Fear is the least effective, I'd say, of the.
Well, fear is a very good motivator.
It is a good motivator, and it disrupts logical thinking, which is an added bonus.
Can I say a few words?
Hell yeah,
Well,
bro. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you have you donated to the Cash App, $1 a minute, go.
I I haven't.
Just kidding,
I'm
take
sorry.
it away.
Um. Uh. Yeah. I'll pay my yay away. Anyways. Um. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Like about like all of this shit we're talking about is like metaphysical, about like the stupid shit that we can't even, that is not physical, like math and science, or like math and gravity and um I had a point. I was going. I've got a
I
point.
think I think your point is that some of these things we talk about, how much can we really do? How much role do they really play in our lives? I think that's where you were going.
I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
For picking up though, man.
right
That's
on,
awesome. Thank you.
right on, right on. Flow, your I think flows is good and evil a construct. I dig it. Right. All the shit he said about how it's the greatest tool in the world to control motherfuckers. All these things are right. That it's very subjective. I think that's correct. And does it even exist? I'd love to ponder that shit.
Yeah, we take it for granted that it does, and I think that there is objective morality to the extent that morality is basically the rules for having a cohesive society. But
Yes.
I don't know that I agree it is. Or I think that I probably disagree that it exists to the extent that, like, God is really upset with you if you be mean to me.
Right. It's illogical. But even at the first part you put, does it even exist for anything outside of nature, like our favorite shit, harm no man? That doesn't mean that we're moral. It would work for nature too. If you don't harm him, he don't harm you both, you live. That's not proof of a God or right, wrong, and evil. We use that because it's logical and it helps our survival. And now we think it makes us better and philosophical, and somehow that's an argument.
Yeah. The seductive component of implementing, if you implement right and wrong as a control system, the seductive part of it is that it appeals to people's narcissistic side. Like, you
Yes.
didn't just slap me, you slapped fucking God now,
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's interesting with
Yes.
Nietzsche because he actually doesn't really mince his words over who he thinks is to blame for that, and he puts the blame on two specific people. He says Plato created the transcendental realm of the forms, so he combined truth with beauty and goodness.
Okay.
So that's the first problem. He thought that goodness and truth are not aligned, in any significant form. And
I
then
see
and
where he
then
would get that
yeah,
argument and that
yeah,
opinion. I see it.
yeah, and then he thought the idea that Paul created, that God came here to suffer and die. He thought that that was an absolute total mind fuck. He thought it was the ultimate mind fuck because he said that actually this means that God is dead and that we have killed him. That's the second part of that statement. He said God is dead and we have killed him, and he blames it on Paul. He blames it on Saint Paul, who he calls the Chandala of Rome. Chandala means it's like the lower class in the Hindu caste system. You know,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and uh, and he furthermore states in Beyond Good and Evil, the preface. This is going to help a lot of people. He says Christianity is Platonism for the people. You know,
damn.
yeah. So that's an
Which I
interesting.
mean, I just like, and Christianity does embody basically the perfect slave value
Yeah.
through and through. Like, and I've got a sort of soft spot for Christianity. Like, I am happy to live in a Western world where Christianity, which has given the West basically the value that life has intrinsic value, right? I think that's great. I appreciate living under that Christian edition.
Yeah.
That said, Yeah.
as much harm as good. You put in God we trust, and building. We all say it was the greatest thing in the world for this nation. It was also perhaps when they invented the motherfucker, they thought we're gonna need a control mechanism. We could pick any one. What do we want to pick? Hindu, Muslim? No, let's go with Christianity. It don't matter to me. All right, let's do it. It's a great control device.
I'm being accused in the chat of starting a cult without even knowing it, which I'm fine with, by the way. Like, I didn't know I was starting a cult, but I'm cool with it. Mostly, I just want a harem and some money.
You want
I'll say
heroin
that
and
up
money?
front.
Just like
I don't really
else.
want to, like, I think running a cult would be too people-y of a job for me. Like,
You could have a harem and a fortune as just a regular Muslim. You know what I mean?
what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, you had the wrong religion. You'd appreciate the Middle East even more, Flo.
Yeah, convert to Islam. Yeah.
But I heard
Can't
that you
drink,
can't
though.
like drink alcohol or
Yeah,
you get
exactly.
like
Yeah,
stoned.
I was just about to say
Well, it
that.
says you can't drink alcohol, but God lets you do it anyways.
I mean, you can, but can you take, prescription pills? Because I think that's the Mormon loophole, right? Like,
Yeah,
we
you
can't
can
have
take it.
coffee,
Yeah, you can take it.
but Xanax
Indeed,
is on the table.
That's what they do. Yeah, there's Muslims
I know
popping
it.
pills. Dirty motherfuckers. Yep. I think they're fucking it up, but they don't. Yeah, there's no specific law against it. So yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you can't look at the Mormon Church though and say like they're failing. Like something's obviously working for them.
Yeah.
Any religion that is against weed, that's a deal breaker for me too.
Are they against weed?
I don't know. I'm just saying, if it's against weed, I'm like, that's a deal breaker for me. Yeah.
I could care less about weed.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that Islam, there's no specific rules against any other drug other than alcohol. So that's the problem.
Which sort of makes sense because it is the most dangerous, causes the most like it's really full stop the worst drug.
It was probably the most prevalent at that era. They probably didn't have opiates and shit when they came up. Their alcoholics were the most abundant.
Nothing beats that feeling. Like nothing beats that feeling. Like there's no amount of drugs you could take that beats the feeling of just like drinking a 6-pack and like smoking a few cigarettes.
I don't know.
That is incorrect, sir. But I'm not.
Yeah, heroin's pretty good, bro.
No, for me,
let me tell you what. There are better feelings than that.
For me, it's the top drug because yeah, for me, alcohol is just the top drug.
Machine Labs, before we go
like
too far, I didn't know about Nietzsche and what you said about Nietzsche's philosophy of the sheep are just weak, all right, and the vulture. And it made me think of the Illuminati philosophy that we are idiots because we are weak when we do mercy and all of those things. There are tools and they are used at specific times, and you are weak if you only follow one side, like God. They believe in both the negative and positive, but both have powers. There is no reason to put one above the other. Really lines up with that Nietzsche shit y'all was just talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to Rudolf Steiner, people like Rudolf Steiner, who was one of the founding members of the Theosophical Society, or Adolf Hitler, who was part of that Thule Society, those were both offshoots of Freemasonry, and actually, Adolf, the buddy, he had actually a fucking a bust of Friedrich Nietzsche, and he like looked at it, like how in
admiration,
like how Alexander would have a bust of Aristotle, you know what I mean? Like,
right,
it's kind of like that, like he thought it was,
So I have a clarifying question for the Machine Lies. So Islam has no explicit ban on using fentanyl. Is that correct?
That'd be correct.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that not for medical reasons, but see, that is a common loophole, because what exactly is a medical reason? Many people will placate that it is anytime you feel like taking it. Right?
Yes, and other people will say it's when a doctor tells you, which would also be incorrect.
Right. Exactly.
So if the doctor tells me it's good or the doctor tells me it's bad, we should just trust whatever the doctor says,
Yes, Fauciism, I think is what it's called.
right?
Yeah,
Fauciism.
I
yeah,
am the
yeah.
science. I
Trust the
am the
doctor.
science.
In fact, don't breathe until the doctor gives you permission. The air
Well, see,
quality
I
may
mean,
be
it
too
kind
low.
of it reminds me of that the book in a sense, and the whole Rocky scenario when it comes down to like, all right, I understand that there is this book and there was this, a bunch of people that wrote this book, but this, in my mind, is, like I said, there are some things on it that in it that are true, and some things are in it that are legit, but as a whole, as like the omnipotent truth of everything, and then we just should not question anything. We should not even have used any kind of critical thinking about anything else, because there's all the answers right there. That to
The,
me is just, it's just wrong. You know
that
what
Here's
I
to
the
me
mean?
problem.
is Christians. Christians will say that. I'm sorry, Hank, but that's what
Mhm.
Christians do. When you when pushed, they tell you abandon your critical thinking and just do what
Right.
the Bible says verbatim.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it kind of reminds me of like how they've done it with the school system actually. All right, if you find something in like one of your textbooks and you wanted to question this, and the teacher's like, well, no, if that's what it says in the book, that's what it is. Don't
Yes.
but that's a
question the
bad
book,
teacher. That's a
you
bad
know.
teacher.
But
So
Yeah.
let me
but
say
that's
what
how it.
Christians. Let me say what Christians do real quick.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
listen, not just Christians, but the Darwinists too. They would go ahead and say, "Yeah, just believe what the book says," but what atheists been doing this for like over 100 years. They'll take the book literally and say, "But the book says this," and ask the Christian about, and the Christian will deny the book. Then
Yes.
they have no coherence now.
You know who else do that? Muslims and Christians. They debate a lot on these little shorts and shit on the internet, and that's exactly what they do. They take the most extreme example and say, I can prove Christianity or your God's evil, and they'll be like, aha, they drank the blood of Jesus. Those evil fucks. Who does that? Your people are evil, and
Yeah,
uh,
most of them do that. I mean, it's true, but I don't debate that way. But I'm
right.
probably the only person in the world that doesn't debate that way because I'm the
I,
most right in my own mind.
I
But it
understand
is
that
what
a
it is,
thousand
you know.
percent. But see, this is braggadocious nonsense. What the fuck is that, man? I'm gonna get a cup of coffee.
I totally missed that one, man. I was out of the room. I was reading the chat.
But yeah, I mean, it goes back. I mean, it's kind of a twist because Nietzsche actually says that the people who accomplished the task of creating the slave morality are some like crazy motherfuckers because they actually created a power system that could make you think that real power is bad. So they're actually the most powerful people on the planet because they engaged in the most brilliant act of subversion of all time, which he called the revaluation of values. When he
Yes.
said literally, if you can accomplish revaluation of values, you're a powerful motherfucker because you could
Yeah.
literally tell people up is down, down is up. You can just tell people whatever the fuck you want. After that,
Right.
Yeah. And you can use existential to double subvert it. So like as Discordianism says, um, all one thing. So you could use it and abuse principle of math to feed the system to itself and break out of it. So in double subvert it, then you're back to master morality. We have slave morality.
So
Yep.
where do you guys think that the idea of that master slave, the Lord servant, the idea first appeared? I mean, I have my own theory, but I mean, where do you guys think that actual thought? Oh, wait a minute. You know what? If I get all these motherfuckers to do all this stuff for me, hell, now I'll have all this stuff, and they'll just do all the work for me. I mean, where did that idea first, do you think,
It
came
was
about?
somebody was very smart. He was smarter than the people around him.
Well,
That's what
I
Nietzsche says.
agree. I agree because I mean, in my theory, now I'm just bringing this back into the ancients, like in the Anunnaki. In my opinion, they are the ones. They didn't really bring us technology. They brought us a thought, an idea, and they passed that idea on to some people along the way, and then they figured it out how to get this stuff going, and boom, next thing you know, they got a whole castle and a bunch of knights surrounding them. I mean,
ideas create reality. It all
yeah.
comes down to the Mandela effect too, man.
Well,
Our minds create reality.
well, no,
That's right.
I agree.
That's what I think.
I agree on that on some aspects, because I mean, honestly, I think a lot of like these, you see a lot of these like scientists and archaeologists and all this stuff. They're always looking for like evidence of, because I mean, honestly, the more they dig, deeper they dig, the more stuff that they find that just really just defies their whole mainstream logic and the whole idea of the history and all that stuff.
Everything.
All right, it totally screws it all up. So I mean,
Yeah.
evidently there's a huge chunk of history, like I guess before the flood, that we don't know anything about. All right, because there really wasn't a whole lot of stuff written record left behind.
Well,
I mean,
it's like this.
Well, there was. It's just it depends
Yeah.
on what will we use, whether you ignore it or not. I mean, there's plenty of stuff in China that was before the flood, and they don't even record the flood because it didn't happen there.
Yeah, but I think it comes like this. It comes like how somebody said, well, God is unseen. See, they had representations of gods. Then somebody said God is unseen. So they said, well, you can't have God in a fixed place. Well, that means that it allows you to engage in methodological atheism. That's what I've been trying to point out. Because once God is totally removed from existence, that means you accept that God is a mystery. You think about God, and you say, actually, the more you think about God, the more mysterious it is. That you couldn't comprehend such an amazing power, but still you can't explain the happenings of the world. So you go, shit. Well, I guess I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. And then somebody comes in and says, well, what if you can't fully know God? God is unseen. And then God is everywhere and nowhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that allows you to go and conquer and subjugate all types of people. Because your God is not like on Mount Olympus over there. He's just like he's like around it's the God of the world. All the different gods in the world all are subservient to that one God. And that's what really Nietzsche said, that these Jews that they were really smart people for thinking of that one. Because they really hit it out of the park. And he really thought that the God of the Old Testament is more true than the God of the New Testament, because he doesn't suffer at all. He just goes and rules shit. He tells people to go fuck themselves. He fucking blows up cities and shit. He nukes whole cities. He just does whatever the fuck he wants.
Someone like Flow State is going to be power hungry and controlling and want to be egoic.
But I mean, in my opinion, my view of it, the Old Testament is nothing but the history of the Jews, and New Testament is just after Jesus came into play. That's how I interpret it.
Real shit never dies.
Oh shit, y'all done took over the show. I love it.
I didn't do nothing, man. It wasn't me. You can't prove a thing. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right, so this is our KKK convention. We're having it here at the Flow State channel, as we do every Christmas and Sunday evening.
Yes,
the Grand Wizard.
The Grand Wizard is Joe Cool.
What do you guys think of the Jews? I know what Nietzsche thought of them.
I'm pro Jews. They should just erase anything they don't like.
Listen, and by the way, don't get that vaccine. It's not good for you. Fuck up.
Unless Fauci says so.
Oh, look, he snatched his ass off the table. Damn. Dude just snatched his ass right off of that sucker.
Israel.
You thought he wasn't paying attention. Come on, man.
There you go. You want to get kicked off? All you got to do is just follow the lead right there. Damn.
Lindsay, you're wrong. I'm listening to everything Rocky says. That's funny.
is funny.
So even with it's like trying to get on the same page thing. It's like,
you better
okay, how
watch
do we...
out, dreadlocks. You better watch out because we have come for you. Oh, sorry. It's my mother's tongue again. It comes through. You'd better watch out because we're not playing. We're real and we are a terror.
Oh, you got pulled it back. The aliens are done with them. Welcome back, Joe Cool.
Yeah, like I was saying, everybody go out and get your boosters. Adhere to the schedule.
Yeah, obey the WHO.
Obey.
Bow down. I must submit. I must submit. Yeah. Damn, Joe, that's crazy.
Listen, Merry Christmas, whether you guys celebrate it or not. And surely this is the way to do it, man. I was in there making my coffee thinking, hey, it's Christmas, and what else would I rather be doing with this group of fellas? This is like a pretty good start.
Hey, Santa Claus skipped my house, man. What the hell can I do about that?
Move out of the ghetto.
Turn his ass back around and come back over here.
Move out of the ghetto, bro. He's still like the other neighborhoods.
You can just say the call was for you.
Yeah, well, I wish I had some coal. I could put it in my damn forge and make a knife.
Right, I'm okay with coal.
I'm okay with getting coal now. I'm gonna tell you. Hell, it's ever since the Obamas started closing out all the coal mines. I can't get coal down here in Florida anymore. It's crazy.
Oh, man, that's another control mechanism.
I feel like okay with that.
Oil, that is some control mechanism shit, bro. It is. Whatever they say, we believe. Oh man, the oil reserves are low. We got to charge when we buy it. Oh man, we broke a pipe in Brazil and we'll pay more for gas. No, we don't care. Yep. We just do it.
Well, I mean, Joe, honestly, man, they got us by the balls, man. Because I mean, honestly, yeah, you can argue about the price, which I agree. In my opinion, I think $1 a gallon was a fair price. I remember that back when I was a kid, when I was driving, that was $1 a gallon. And honestly, I don't see any reason for it to be any higher than that. But hell, I got to get around. So they got me by the balls. So either walk or ride a bicycle. Yeah. Go ahead.
So would you sell gasoline for $1 a gallon when you can get away with selling it for $4 or $5?
Go on ahead.
Well, that's the problem. Is they're getting away with it because they got us by the balls. We got no choice. We want to get around. We're gonna have to pay the price they put it out there.
It's also because this is a capitalist system, and capitalism is inherently evil.
Yeah, what we could do is use the laws already on the books and start busting the trust. If the laws are already on the books right now, all we need to do is enforce them.
I think.
Did we lose somebody else? Am I crazy?
Yeah, somebody else got dropped. I don't know with it. Yeah. Dang, man. Hell, Joe, man, my head could be on the chopping block any minute, man.
I thought it was me who got dropped. I was flow with it. Capitalism is inherently evil. I was intentionally coming up with that one flow.
No, that'd be too easy.
I would say corporatism is actually evil, not capitalism, personally.
I would say made a good argument. And I would support it anyways because I always vote for the most evil.
Flo made a good argument where that it probably is not inherently evil. Last time, I don't even remember the argument, but I remember thinking, yeah, I think you're right. Wayne, as far as they got us by the balls.
What do you think?
Well. First of all, I'd have to say, wow, they're brilliant. The plan looks like, oh my God, they got us government going. Looks totally blah blah blah. All right, I have to acknowledge that first. It looks unsurmountable. However, I thank God I'm arrogant as fuck. I believe me and 2 friends can figure this shit out and overcome some shit.
What you think you can get by just by carpooling everywhere?
No, I believe that I could come up with the solution along with a couple bright folks that I can get it done. I wouldn't be able to get it done myself. I doubt my solution probably would entail converting others or blah 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 whatever. But I do believe that my solution could be to invent an alternative source of energy to bust out there so and so. But I believe there is a plan. There always seems to be a solution to every fucking problem.
Or we can use one that already exists, like nuclear power. Nuclear power.
Well, the only thing is, it's like, okay, you know, the way the system is in play right now, if they can't put a meter on it and charge us something for it, you know, they don't even want it in existence. They don't want it, you know.
I would agree.
You know, I mean, but the thing is, it's like, okay, are you talking about an alternative power source or anything like, or propulsion system or whatever?
Oh,
I mean, honestly, unless somebody in the private sector, like some guy is sitting in his basement and kind of invents it on his own, and then just throws it out into the public for everybody to, you know, make it totally open source, blah blah blah, you know, that'd be one thing. But
I think
you know,
a few people have tried that, and those were the people who disappeared.
exactly. But no, well, I will say that yes, you are on some aspects you are right, but they also, there was some of them that also didn't reveal exactly how their invention worked. They kept it close to their chest, and then you know, when people found out that this was actually a real thing, that's when they ended up disappearing and all their shit disappeared and all that other stuff. But the thing is, it's like, okay, if you get it out into the open to the public to where everybody has this knowledge all at the same time before they come and get your shit, well, everybody already knows it. You know what I mean?
I hear you. You'd have to package everything before you present it. The examples I was thinking about, it was the water powered car. The guy was on like National Geographic or the Learning Channel or something with a boat that had propulsion without blades. I'm thinking all the people who disappeared and whether the internet was around at
the
that
guy
time.
that invented the carburetor that can make your fuel efficiency down to like almost 100%, you know, efficient.
Yeah. Well, fuel can't be that efficient, but
I mean, it was close to it. It was pretty damn close, dude. It was...
Well, corporations have a profit motive, so anything that's too efficient, they'll want to mass produce because how are they going to get the money? You need to get the money.
Yes. Not only do they not want to mass produce, they can't allow you to mass produce it either.
Well, here's the thing: they can't really. Well, certain things they can't stop me. If I get the supply chain, they can't stop me if they wanted to. But putting together supply chain takes a lot of resources to start with. So, but when they get going, they can't do anything about you other than bullshit with the regulations.
They find a way, right?
They'll find a way, but I could use the same crap against them, which I do.
I was going to say
I use uBlock Origin on my browser, so I don't have to watch the ads, and I'm the administrator of my browser, so I get to choose what software I run. So you could definitely use the system against them.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Yeah, I totally forgot what I was going to say now. I mean, damn. It'll come back to me in a minute. You know what I mean?
All right, that's how it works.
You know, I guess that Alzheimer's kicking in.
All right, let's do some of my dumbass mind shit since Flo not up here. Maybe we can roll with it. I want to be the Illuminati guy, and I want to convert you guys. So I'm going to ask you.
I'm Discordian, in addition to being a Unitarian Universalist. How more Illuminati can I possibly get, Joe?
Oh, you're on my side already. Damn it! All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll convert the other two guys, which may be on my side already too. Listen, guys, fuck these laws. Do as you want, man. Why wouldn't you do that? It's to your benefit. Do as thou wilt. Why not?
Well, that's what the masters do, isn't it? That's what the lords do, isn't it?
I am asking you, what is your logic? I'm trying to convert you. What is your logic? Why wouldn't you do what I do? I do as I will. Why wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I do in a way do as I will. I mean, unfortunately, some of my decisions, because of the way I do, puts me in pretty scenarios. I mean, all right, it comes back to that natural law scenario, I guess, too. Because I mean, I know. I feel like I know the difference between right and wrong,
Boy,
good and
I
bad.
hope none of them come to recruit you for real, because you're gonna be doing a lot of studying. See what it is.
See, I don't want to become part of the Illuminati. I mean, because I don't really get along with others in big groups like that. You know what I mean? I've actually tried. People have actually tried to get me to join clubs, and you know, evidently, I stick around, and they don't really like how I conduct myself. You know,
It's weird. Like I hear that from a lot of people. Like I never got any invitations to any groups. I think it's the way I look.
no, well, see, okay, I'm old school. I still
That's so sad, bro.
I still talk on our CB radio. There's a lot of people out on the radio that all have all these radio groups and stuff like that. I would get invited to actually join their groups and stuff, and then, things would go, with other members don't like the way I do my thing. And next thing you know, they're like, oh, it's not
Isn't that
working
the
out kind of
problem
thing.
with
You
joining
didn't
the
bring a
group?
chick to the swinger party? Is that what?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, honestly, I would rather start my own club instead of actually joining others. You know what I mean?
That club shit may be difficult, if not impossible, right? I think club shit means that you must adhere to the same ideal. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I there was a motorcycle club that the way they
Wait,
did
I'm wrong.
their
I'm wrong.
politics.
I'm wrong. You could do a club shit, right, and not have to be a fucking cult member. I don't know. You go
Right.
ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
just
what I'm
throwing
saying.
it
That's what I'm
around
saying.
out here.
I would personally rather I would start my own club versus joining others, because I mean, honestly, I mean, and then I can be the dictator, I guess. But no, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, here's the problem. If you start
Lindsay, I'm
your
going to
own
need you to
club,
flash
you
your
have to
camera
run.
on backstage. Only I can see you. You don't have to leave it on. But I just want to, just to verify it's you.
You stupid.
But yeah, only I can see you. So go ahead anytime. Just make sure it's you.
So here's the
I
problem.
ain't supposed to know when I'm throwing that out there.
Here's the problem. If you start your own club, then you have to run your own club too, and that could be.
Why does your name say Big Daddy? Somebody paid to have your name say McRib.
Oh, I didn't know that was pay. I just changed it to that. Yeah, you can change it back to McRib if you want. Shit.
Oh, I'll pay to have. I'll change it again. You want to be Big Bad Rib Cage? You got it. I'm gonna pay the money to get that.
All right, it stays.
Damn. This capitalism right there, huh?
I provide value, and I hope that I receive value, and yeah, something.
But I'm gonna change it to.
Paige, I just dropped the link. Hold on. Hi, Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay.
I'll let you keep all caps today. I've been in a good mood. I've been kicking ass today, so you can keep the all caps today.
Good morning, Lindsay.
It's a prophecy fulfilled. Blessings, Lindsay. I think you got the mic thing going on again.
Yeah, mic check. If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Yeah, you gotta go out and come back in, Lindsay. For that microphone shit.
Camera on backstage again. Only I can see you. Hank cannot see you. Joe Cool cannot see you. No matter how close to the screen machine leans, he cannot see you. So,
yo, you sound like you being selfish over there, bro. What's that about?
machine lies, putting his sunglasses on, leaning all close to the screen, like we don't know what the fuck you're trying to do there, bro.
Wear my sunglasses at night.
All right.
Trying to get up close and personal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks for the Mick link over there, bro. Copy.
Praise God.
Peace, brother.
So, Cage, you agree with Machine Lies that the Illuminati should rule us?
What are you talking about?
That was some
These
shit
are
with
these are
Shane last.
ideas that these are
I didn't even
the
say
ideas
that
that
though.
Dwayne. These are the ideas that Dwayne gets in their mind, and they make shit up. You know what I mean? Get back, you're cattle, bro. You have a number on your fucking head.
Yeah, but I just changed the number. Now I screwed up the system.
Nah. You fucked up, bro. It's all capitals.
Now I gotta tell you this. That
You're
information,
Mick
no, that's
fucked.
not
You're
the
Mick fucked.
database.
You're Mick
It's
fucked,
hilarious.
OTO guy. Okay.
Well,
Not
I'm a you guy
McFucking.
right now. I'm a you right now.
Yeah, Mick hanked.
No, really, I'm a Unitarian Universalist right now. Some would say it's
Nobody's
more
ever heard of that shit.
because I mean, literally at the last service, we all lit candles. So some may say that it's that Unitarian Universalists or more Luciferian
Bro,
than
just
the
face it, you're
OTL.
Mick fucked.
Hey, two questions. Is anything inherently good or evil?
I think ultimately, even a utilitarian would say that truth is good. I mean,
Uh,
like truth. Truth is good. It's good.
can we
Give
think
me
of an example where truth would be bad?
Yes,
Maybe
it's
telling
true.
the truth that someone that their son just died when they're hanging off a bridge. Truth is bad suddenly.
It's not as bad as telling them their son is still alive.
If it saves their lives and keep them from
You guys are
jumping
Mick
off the
retarded
bridge.
over here. What the fuck is going on?
Gage,
Yeah,
this
so
one's
I
in the
would
house.
So I disagree.
I gotta get me
that
some coffee.
truth is necessarily good.
I forgot I got some already.
Because
I'm sorry, Hank. Go ahead.
I'll hold
yeah,
that, Flo.
because
Much love.
if
But I
people say,
honestly,
oh, I think the truth.
thank you guys
It's
for
not
having me
that
on here.
good.
Good to see everybody. You know, I don't want to. I'm just messing around. You know.
I know, I was too.
Hey, it's my theory that there have been a lot of chemtrails. People seem to be on edge, short-tempered and shit. You guys see that?
You know what? And it's been raining for about 2 or 3 days here, so
Here
that
too.
normally, you know what? That's actually
Bro,
not a bad guess. Oh,
Bro, we had the
Mercury was
craziest
retrograde
fog.
also.
I
I
don't know
forgot
if you
about that.
guys have had
Mercury just went
Flo.
retrograde a little bit.
Flo, have you seen like the crazy fog out there? I've seen some crazy fucking fog out here, bro. It's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Well, I don't
You can
believe in
barely see 3
Mercury
feet in front of
retrograde
you and
stuff.
shit.
I
You
don't
gotta,
understand that. When you trolling with the Mercury's in retrograde, because I'm looking for
Communication.
evidence.
Communication is hard, which of course it has defined definitely the first half of the panel. Most of it, I would say, is a little bit of rough communication.
what are you smelling over there? The fucking loud or something machine?
Yeah, I got like weed residue stuck to my hand, so I'm
I
just
could
like,
tell you're smelling the fucking
Oh,
loud,
it's
bro.
the
Come on,
sticky
yeah,
man.
shit.
That's what
There.
I
You
do.
got that sticky icky there.
yeah, I got some sticky stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what it is.
I could tell right away you're sniffing that loud. I didn't know. I could tell. I mean, good
It's
luck getting it
actually
off your
crack.
fucking hands, bro.
It's actually crack.
It's that sticky icky crack, though. You know.
The best guy.
The first time I saw somebody
You
take
gotta
a
try some of this
dab,
K
I
shit.
had never heard of it before. I was like, "Holy shit! They've made crack weed."
Well,
First
there's a
time you
strain
tried
called
what
green
wax? You said?
crack.
I
You
ever
know,
saw a
there's
dab.
more
I had never
strains
even
than
heard
that.
of a dab, and I walk in, and my buddy, who never, occasionally he would snort coke, occasionally, but he was always just like beer and weed. I walk into his house one day, and he fires up the blowtorch, and he's doing some weirdo shit with his crazy looking bong on the table. I'm like,
That was probably one of
David,
the
what have you
strongest
gotten
experiences you
into?
ever had. That's
Yeah,
probably
the
one of the
green,
strongest experiences you ever had with the blowtorch. And when dabs first came out and shit, I
yeah, the
guarantee
green
your
crack,
mind, you probably
the
just want
green
to do
crack
some
is
more
great.
cocaine. You know what I mean? Your mind's not ready for that.
Yeah, green crack is such a great strain. I mean,
I mean, I took
from
2 dabs, and then that was it. I was just like catatonic. I was like
like
somebody
smoking a
one flew over
blunt
the
or
cuckoo's
something.
nest. You know, I just walked out from getting my brain shocked.
Yeah, people are more useless than they normally are after that. You know.
And
You said,
I don't have
oh,
really
yes,
any weed tolerance as it is. Just regular pot gets me
right.
kind of. pretty high, but
lightweight.
it's just kind of boring. You know what? You choose
the
hard
first
drugs
time,
or
though.
alcohol, and I will fuck you up on anything, all of them together.
Put me up on
Weed.
music.
I just like weed and LSD. Those are the only, mushrooms every once in a while. Those are the only things I like.
Yeah, I like sticking to the flower. I don't like the concentrates too much. I do
Well,
make
yeah,
something
flower's
called.
the
When's the last time you
use-
smoked wet? Like, come on now.
I use something called dry ice, and I extract all the trichomes off it. It's called sift. You know what I mean? Different grades and that. So
You
yeah,
use
you can
dry
do a good.
Okay, so I feel like this is getting
No, dry
dangerously
ice.
close to something that.
It's frozen
illegal or
CO2.
something.
So.
I mean,
But how is that illegal?
It's carbon dioxide. That's
no,
why.
it's not. I'm not
It's
talking
carbon
about the
dioxide,
law. I
that's
don't
why
give
it's
a fuck
illegal.
about the
You can't
law.
breathe.
Everybody knows that. I'm talking about the YouTube policies.
Oh,
Yeah, so you can be careful about carbon
Bro,
dioxide.
there's channels with millions and millions of viewers that YouTube.
I don't give a fuck, honestly. Not at all. I give zero fucks about your
Yeah.
opinion on whether or not you can say what you can say on my channel because you can't.
I was definitely
we do
right
not
about
produce-
them
We
chemtrails.
do not we do not support the use of carbon dioxide.
Wait, I think he was just talking about to get the particulates off of the weed. He wasn't
Bro,
talking about.
Joe was right about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
All right. So what was the subject again? Now there, Flo. What were you talking about?
Oh, how I was right and Rocky and Natsuhito was wrong.
Oh,
I don't even remember what the topic was. I'm sitting here in the dark. Power still have it, bounces on and off every now and then. But yeah, y'all have at it. At this rate, I'm probably not going to have this up much longer. I'm probably going to wrap it up soon, but I'm okay sitting in the dark right now. If you. Ex bootlicker, what's up, Casey, homie?
It's all dirty, Flow State. There you
Don't
go.
worry, you talk. I'll wait.
I'm in solidarity with you. I had to keep this camera light on so people can see me, but I'll turn off the light to be in solidarity with you, Flow State.
That's quite a bright light. It looks like you're getting arrested.
Yeah, Officer Snaps and Officer Turk finally found my location.
Stop resisting. Oh no, I'm scared for my life. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, we're getting light snow right now. I'm out in DeSoto, like at the Olathe area.
It's been raining here all night.
Dude, it's so fucking wet here. Like it hasn't been pouring, but for days it's just been like kind of drizzling.
Just to get enough to get everything wet.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Nice alley-oop though on the that's what she said.
Yeah,
So Joe, so what do you think? What do you think, man?
What do I think? What do I think about what?
I don't know.
I had chemtrails in my head, but it was time to change the subject. But that's all I could think. I was literally thinking, yes, they put them up there, and then they used the rain to drop it down on us at the same time. Blah blah blah. I was in my head on some goofy shit.
Well, I did hear a story that they were going to try and use that same technology to actually introduce the crap in the arm stuff.
I heard that too.
You know, just to kind of drop it into where we're eating and breathing it all over the place.
I heard the same thing. I don't know how effective that is. Apparently, I imagine they've been trying that shit for months now. So they're already putting it in the food and the drink.
Well, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like when, down here in Florida, you got all these, every once in a while you got these trucks that come around and spraying the damn mosquito shit, and I mean, it kind of reminds me of that. You know what I mean?
I immediately think, I don't trust you, bro. I need an independent lab to verify.
I gotta admit, the first syllable of Florida sounds like the first syllable in fluorine.
Yeah, so your Florida is damned. Is that what you're saying? Oh, that's evil of you, Hank. You're saying Florida is a city?
I haven't been there, but I probably should take a trip.
Florida's the toughest state in the whole dang union now. Why do you think it's shaped like a gun?
Oh,
I'd,
Texas can get mad now.
I'd move to Florida, man. Florida is fucking beautiful, Joe. I'd move to Florida. And they got the swamp shit with the gator, and then they got the sophisticated shit. If you're like Flow State and you're ultimate capitalist, you know, you got Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Northern Florida.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, speaking of capitalists, Cage is here and Wingnut Radio is here, and neither of them have funny little names yet. So I guess
Why do I need a name? Why do I need a funny little name? Isn't Wingnut enough?
Yeah,
I mean, that says it
it's
all.
not about your needs. These are my needs we're addressing.
Whatever you want to hear.
So what you need to do, folks, is pay
so
yourself
hey,
$4.
somebody
to
needs
change
to
your name.
pay him to give me a freaking name. Is that what it is? Yeah.
He can pay himself. I gave enough money.
Yeah, but those names have already been exchanged for the payment that was given, and I can't pay myself because that's market manipulation or something. It's like insider trading.
Illegal. Yeah, that's definitely
I don't
illegal.
care. Officer snaps off the tariff will have to catch up. I don't care.
The feds would
pay
just
yourself.
kick in his door if he did something crazy and extreme like that, bro. Bought his own name change.
They're watching, bro.
They can see him watch. It doesn't matter. I mean, how can they prove?
Did taxes get taken out on that too?
Not on Cash App stuff. I mean, okay, let me give you the proper answer is yes, of course. They're automatically deducted from YouTube super chats. They're not automatically deducted from Cash App.
Or PayPal.
But I don't trust PayPal.
I closed my PayPal down when they tried to insert that clause about how they could ban users for hate speech
and fine them for
fine them. That's right. If you use hate speech on your social media, they could fine you by just pulling cash out of your account.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's certainly enough to get me jump ship on these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a
that was
broke
one of my
motherfucker.
big things too.
I dare them to pull money on my account without my permission. We could sell in court.
Don't dare them too long. That will be the norm. It's the norm overseas, and it always comes over here. They're already taking money out of your social low scores and shit.
Okay, who could pay it? If they're gonna take money on my account, then I can take money on their
What are
account.
you talking about, Joe?
I'm talking about, I think it's China, Japan. They already instituted that monetary system. And when a person does something they don't like, traffic ticket or whatever fine they came up with,
social credit score. Yeah.
Yes, they deduct it.
Here, though.
And here's even more insidious. What they do is they say a loaf of bread costs $5, just imaginary number. And if you have a good social score, we'll give it to you for $2. If you have a bad social score, it'll cost you $8. So behave, or your food is more pricey too.
Who do you think on here would have the best social credit score if that were to be implemented?
I'm gonna say Joe Cool.
I'm already in the negative. Why you bullshitting? I'm already in the negative.
I don't think any of us will have a great social
Actually,
score.
it's definitely me. It's definitely me because I have Asian plugs.
So I bet that Hank, it'll be Hank, then from best to worst, Hank, Cage, Machine Lies.
Demons.
I don't know. I don't know enough about Wingnut to know where he falls in there. I think that I will probably be worse than Joe, but I'm not 100% sure on that either.
Yeah, Note says, I didn't know nothing about the government until 5 years ago. I went my entire life without engaging with them motherfuckers.
Dude, Flo, I'll tell you this: if they were just to use YouTube as a determining factor, man, I've had about 1,000 videos of mine deleted by YouTube because of they claimed medical misinformation or misinformation in the 2020 election. All right, those are the two main claims that they bring up. I've had about 1,000 videos. Plus,
I am banned from eBay for life, sir.
What are we bragging about?
I will have you know that I'm banned from eBay for life. And I'm included on their list of suspected organized retail criminals. They sent me a notice and everything.
I
Yeah, they said
probably
I was
got
fucking their market over too
Hey,
much
did you hear about that
illegal
one guy
selling.
that had an Amazon account and he had everything shut down because of some wrong glitch in the system or whatever?
I
He had
did.
everything. He had he had a smart house and a smart car, and all this stuff was getting shut down because it was all connected to his Amazon account. And
Who could
they
have
just
seen that
Oh,
issue
foolish.
arising?
I know,
yeah.
right? Right.
Yeah, how foolish could you just put everything through Amazon? You should put your
Well,
own
yeah,
server.
some people are just like, I mean, think about it. A lot of people don't even really change their passwords, or they have the same password for all their stuff. I mean, it happens all the time. You know, not everybody's that in tune with their privacy.
Yeah,
You
Or
know,
they write their passwords down and put them in their desk drawer at work.
of course, right.
That's yeah. If you hide your password, you can write it down. It's not a big deal. Just don't make it so people can easily find it. Just
Hank, what was your high school mascot, by the way? I've been meaning to ask you.
I think it was a hill. I think our team were called the Hillers, so it must have been a hill, right?
Oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness. Wait. You got a dirt mound was your mascot? I'm hearing that
Sure,
wrong.
that
Well,
makes
Joe,
sense.
what was yours?
Well, I hope it was an animal. I don't know. The tigers. The
In fact,
tigers.
Hope
why
it
don't
was
we all go around and say our high school mascots?
Yes, a heel, a dirt heel. They can't do that to
Yeah.
you, bro.
And
That's
then we can do our mother's maiden names after that.
You know, the security questions, I can make the answers whatever I want, even if it makes no sense in regard to the question.
I don't know
Yeah,
what you're
but
trying
then
to
you
tell
gotta.
me, but I'm interpreting it as a challenge. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm just saying I can give you all this information, but the answer is still all wrong.
You
I
just
could tell you that.
confused me
I
more.
understand that's a possibility, but it's definitely not a majority.
Yeah, it's true. It just won't work on me. I'm in the know.
Santa Claus is a black man. Whoa. Santa Claus is a black man. And I know.
Wallets and shoes at the beach, we all appreciate that, and the pool. You know, we appreciate Cadillac converters on lifted trucks.
Shower shoes in the county showers.
Yeah. We love old ladies who have grandsons that are scuzzy, so we can call the grandmas and be like, "Oh, it's me, Billy. I'm in trouble. I need money really quick."
Dads that treat their daughters shitty so they become skanks and hop on OnlyFans.
We love running subset panels on the internet so that we can trick people into exposing laws they've violated to us, and then we can give them fake, communications from the government saying they've been charged with. Oh wait, I don't know what I'm talking about.
You would never do anything like that, would you?
I would never scam chat talk. I mean,
Yes.
I would never suggest people make stamps so that I could hurt them. Well, I need to shut the fuck up.
Oh fuck! How did that go? Oh fuck! The snafu stamp thing. I'm sure I saw it here.
It turns out Snafu is a really shitty investigative reporter.
Is that what we concluded?
So I mean, all right, hey, Flo, you actually delved into that whole scenario of like probably like adjusting your status and all that stuff. You went into that whole rabbit hole.
No, I haven't.
How come
Okay.
all of you guys are wearing?
I mean,
masks?
I've-
You got the
I've
plastic
researched
hat
some of the
over.
things on my own, and they've come to dead ends. But I haven't actually involved myself really, more just doing some
Do
research.
the all caps,
Right.
Wingnut. I bet you know something about this. I saw a guy give an argument for the all caps thing, only because one of my friend who's one of those sheep ass police suckers said that it was a non-starter, and this dude saw that and gave the argument for it, and it was the argument that when it's in all caps, it represents the U.S. that is the Washington D.C. U.S. So they must use all caps.
The corporation employee, but it's actually, if you actually look in, what is it, was it basic language or reading or whatever, all capital letters, I mean, all capital letters name doesn't exist. It's a fiction. It does, it's like because our natural birth name, in a sense, is capital first letter and then the lowercase the rest. That's how our traditional name is written. But when they put it in all caps, that's how they created the corporation, the fiction, the legal fiction.
Here's how I'm going to break it. I'm going to convert my name to Shavian. It doesn't have capitals at all. That's the letters George Bernard Shaw gets funded. So I'm going to convert my name to Shavian, no all caps.
Well,
if that's the thing,
I don't know how you can do. I don't know exactly how you're planning on doing that, but I just
encode it and tell them name change to this string, and there you go. No all caps because it doesn't support it.
Well,
I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say the thing is when your mother signed the papers on the birth certificate, basically she was the guardian, in legal terms the guardian, and she signed you over to the government. All right, you're basically a product of the government now.
Well, look at the word they're using.
But she's dead now.
Hold on. What he's saying? Nick, what he's saying is completely true. And look at the name parent.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing? They're they're renting you out.
She's dead now. Contract expired.
They're bringing it into this reality and renting you.
Well, but the thing is like they've entered you into a contract that really, I mean, if you actually look at the when it comes down to contract law, you had no knowledge of it, so technically it should be null and void altogether. But they're using force and violence to actually make you obligated to the contract that your mother signed.
It should be null and void because there is no meeting of the minds.
Exactly.
You don't even understand that you're in a contract. However, they'll go around that by saying you do know that you're in a contract and they'll prove it.
Your parents probably know that or ignored it and went along anyways, and now you're here trying to talk about it.
Most parents are hoodwinked. They didn't know anything about the contract. That's the same thing with marriage.
It doesn't matter. You got signed.
Well, it's the same thing with a marriage.
You just said most parents probably knew. It does matter.
Good luck enforcing it. Good luck enforcing it.
That's what I'm saying. Now, okay, look. So now that we realize all this shit, look, the ritual does not work if you don't participate into it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, if you remove your consent from the bullshit, they have no power over you at all.
I'm not convinced, and I haven't found it. I haven't really researched into it, but I'm just not convinced the all caps thing that everybody likes to talk about is real.
Where did Israel come?
Because you're really tied by your birth certificate, or your social security number, anyways, right?
It does have something to do with the flow. I'd recommend, if anybody has a chance or time, look into a book called The Cult Origins of Words and Word Magic or whatever by Powell.
I've read it. It does not have anything to do with what I'm talking about. It's just an interesting tangent. It does not go into this topic specifically about all the all caps.
Yeah, it does, actually.
Or maybe I'm thinking
Okay,
I'm thinking of a different book. It's called Word Magic.
If it doesn't have any significance, Flo, why was it done that way?
Typewriters, because it's easier. I don't fucking know, but like, just because something is a way doesn't mean there's always like a meaning underneath it.
Well, no, there is, because if you look at it, because they're looking at it in a legalese type of stance.
So it must be a meaning.
There has to be a definition and a meaning behind it.
No, there doesn't. I've looked of all the things I've looked into this shit. Most of it is bullshit. This feels every bit like it's another bullshit league.
Well, that's not
okay. Well, then none of this actually has any legal standing because it is bullshit, right?
Yeah, but it has standing based on force. And
which is really why
Ars Notoria, the Notary Art of Solomon.
Does anybody value the law for any reason besides the force? Like, really, do you intrinsically value that something's a law? Fucking no, nobody does.
It gives me money, absolutely.
I consider the law, because I see law as what the creator can create law, but what men have created is statutes, codes, policies, rules, regulations.
And all this shit. Get the fuck out of here with that Paul unslave shit. You're just repeating words. You don't even know what they mean. What is a code? A code is all the laws. It's just redundancy.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
a code is not. Okay,
Google that shit.
A code. Okay, for instance, even Joe can actually probably back this up. You go into a public building, for instance. All right, there's no law that you cannot take pictures inside this building. All right. But it might be a code.
You do not know what you're talking about. This is one of the things I've looked at.
No, see, the thing is, the difference, the legal definition between the two is a major difference, because the people that actually administer and run the building, they can make whatever codes they want for the building, the administrator of the building. But that is not a law. All right. There's a difference between a law and a code.
Okay.
They're not the
I hear
same
you
thing. They're not
resisting me,
synonymous.
but I'm saying, I'm telling you, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not proving a point. I'm telling you full stop. You are wrong. Go look at something. Go read something. Go stretch your nutsack out and look into the veins. I don't give a fuck what you do, but you're just wrong, dude.
I know you might believe that.
Let me rephrase that. So there's no law that says that we had changed our names based on someone giving you $2, but it's a code you enforce. There you go.
No, I didn't get.
Which ultimately is the only reason that any laws matter, anyways. It's the force, right? The force is going to be there. I agree. Pragmatically, it's mental masturbation. If they're going to enforce something, it really hardly matters. Like the Fourth Amendment, that doesn't really matter, does it? No,
Any of them,
functionally.
none of amendments are enforced. Only what they give you.
No, I don't believe
the Fourth Amendment doesn't matter unless it's actually.
Mars, are you talking to me or are you talking to him? Because he's the cock.
People know the right from wrong. Okay, that's there. If you try denying that, good luck with that. Okay, it's natural law, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And by the way, you got codes that are non-enforceable, like fire code that someone came up with, and you have codes that are statutes, code so and so that are written in law. I'm pretty sure about that too.
You're right, and there are bars that you get booze at, and there are bars that are just like rods. You know, like
yes,
same
thing.
Bro, you have to create your own code, and morality. That shit's been instilled into you from a baby. Bro, what hurts other people, just do the best for yourself and the people around you. That's the code. Live by that and fuck
Okay, well, thanks for the nothing burger, the platitude.
It's a nothing burger of the platitude.
Just be yourself.
No, it's not that. It's not just be yourself. The fuck. All right, good luck trying to fuck around. Go and fuck around with the laws of nature, and then come talk to me later. Watch. That's probably why you're talking.
I understand that you're trying to level. You always try to level up every conversation and take it into your fucking wacky occult shit. Not every single thing on every single level. You be leveled up into ages of occult shit. Sometimes you just need to deal with shit on the practical level right in front of you.
You're gonna really like
sometimes dealing with what we have right in front of us is very simple, right? The easiest, the simplest things, right? What do they call it? Occam's razor.
Like what you're saying isn't wrong. It's just not really applicable, and it's just a level up, right? You're just leveling up.
Well, what level are you guys on?
By the way,
how high would you like to talk? What degree are you on?
33.
What degree? You're not even a fucking Freemason. You're just a fanboy, Cage.
You just started at that point. No, I've actually talked to the leaders of Freemasonry and over here.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
nobody cares or believes that.
I wish I didn't.
Oh, shut up, Cage. It's cheesy.
I'm not even joking. That's a funny.
You sound cheesy.
I know I do, but I'm not joking. Though. That's a funny part. It's cheesy.
What's the point of making yourself sound cheesy?
And what's the leader of the Freemason that you're talking about? Because
Satan.
I'm curious, are you talking about the president or somebody higher than him?
No, he's a Grand Master of the province here, which is a state. It's like whatever state you're in. Yeah. Or it's like the Grand Master of Chicago.
You're Grand Master of Booty Hole.
So,
Grand Master D's nuts.
Did you get my super chat?
Is this what you're looking for?
Absolutely, you did it.
Excellent. You changed my name. I'm gonna change it back now. You have to pay.
No, you're not. I'll kick you straight the fuck out. You should read the description box and see how we doing things around here with the names. Somebody paid to have your name changed.
All right, I'll leave it then for you.
Everybody on the panel is subject to sale at any time.
Are you serious? So how much can we buy you for?
$2.
I already bought him. Come on, pay attention. I already bought him.
I'll buy you, your entire family, everything, your home, everything.
It's
very
mine.
cheap.
I already bought him. Pay attention.
All right. Well, yeah. Whoever's name you want to change in his family, please just send me $2 and tell me what you want it to be.
There we go. You know, $2 at a time. Maybe you'll be able to afford a meal one day. You never know.
Maybe I'll be able to meet the Grand Wizard someday of the Illuminati, and he'll tell me all sorts of
Possibly.
things. You know. Yeah.
That's possible. You might have him right now. You never know. It's Hank.
Chuck in Tennessee. My ninja.
I watched a documentary yesterday. I think it was Crime and Punishment, what it was called. But it was about New York officers who had turned their bosses in, current officers who had reported on their bosses that there were still quotas and they were asking them to do bogus shit. It was pretty cool. They got some undercover tape and shit like that of the bosses penalizing them, talking about you're out of uniform. What do you mean? That hat, it has to be below freezing. He's like, sir, when I put it on this morning, it is. He was like, yeah, well, it's like 36, 37 degrees now. You should have took it off. You get demerits. They were picking on him with little shit like that. I don't know. It's really interesting to me.
Dude, I would love to have
Shout out to Chuck in Tennessee, the homie, with a $10 gifted memberships. Chuck is the shit. Chuck is my Jimmy Shively. And Steve.
I was saying last week we want to smoke again. I'm hiding 3 people already.
Well, blow some smoke this way. I need some more contact. Your Big Daddy over there.
Who's that? Who's Big Daddy? Oh, that's, yeah, take it easy, Big Daddy.
It's like, yeah. Santa Claus wear dreadlock.
He's powerheading that motherfucker like he just got out of jail.
I know, I'm telling you, boy. Dang, boy.
So this is the year we bring down the oligarchy. Yeah. We're not just going to talk this entire year and have another Christmas and this motherfucker with Machine Lads smoking in a
It would be
Santa
kind
hat,
of
right?
sucky if we're sitting here next Christmas singing the same fucking bullshit that we're doing now. You know? It would
It would kind of be angry, yes.
It won't. I mean, I haven't gone through my arc yet. So.
Jimmy Shively.
Everybody had better come in here with battle wounds and stories, scars next year about how you took down your local fucking police station or library or something, damn it.
Well, I mean,
I'll be like, nah, I just spent another year.
My family, they wrote books about it and shit. They blew up the police station and shit. The police.
We know, Cage. You one up at everything. We just automatically assume that whatever we say, you did one better. You don't need to keep reminding us that you're better, you're smarter, you know more people in more powerful positions. They told you more secrets. For some reason they didn't invite you to join the club. I don't know why. But aside from that,
Cage, let me be serious with you for a minute. Does Flo have an argument that one of your mainstays is to, when you see a conversation going, to one up it? Is that something you do or that you're aware of?
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Haven't you realized?
I haven't even noticed you were doing it till Flo just said it.
So what's the joke? Like, watch me undermine my interaction with people on the panel right now by saying something they won't believe anyways. The joke's on them. I look stupid.
Joke's on you, buddy, and everyone's laughing,
Hey,
not with you.
up your social skills. Your social awareness needs some fine tuning.
No, I don't want to be social with you people.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's certainly not one will believe there, bro. You wouldn't be there.
I think Hank is extremely socially capable. You know
Hank is absolutely. Hank is.
Hank knows everything.
He's basically.
Hold on, let me zoom in and see if that's a Kango. No, it's not a Kango, man. He's not socially adept.
I mean, he is sort of socially unaware that light still is looking crazy, like he's getting arrested on his face. Maybe he is,
He's
and
the
I'm doing it on
co-host.
purpose.
He's basically the co-host on the Machine Lives. I mean, basically just honorary. You know?
I'm the best.
you know, but only Paul Enslaved really gets him right because he's just like black people. Paul is.
Nah, I don't think Paul Slade really gets much, in terms of like just life in
What
general.
are
I mean,
black people?
I got more black.
Did you ever hear? I guess the joke is only makes sense if you've heard him sort of love bomb Sugar
Who's
Tits
more
up
black?
there.
Joe Cool, who's more black?
What do you
Me or
mean? What do you
Paul
mean,
Slade?
black
When you
people? Though,
think
what are
about it.
black people? Though, what does that
No, I'm
mean?
Who's
doing a
more
Paul and
black?
Slater. Yeah, no, he's. Never mind.
Black-
I'm not going to explain the joke anymore. If you got it, you got it. If you didn't, then the ship has sailed.
Just rewind the show. We did it.
Well, I've
today.
obviously got it, but now I'm putting it back onto you. What
I
do you
don't
mean?
think you do, Cage. Cage, you're
That's
the one that I
that's not a
don't think
hue,
would
it's a
be able to
shade.
place the humor in context.
Shit's not black and white, boy.
I already
Is
know what's
that-
going to happen in the year 2024 because the Simpsons had already told me.
Duh.
Is Cage going to dissolve into just pure power in the atmosphere, the ether?
If
I'll
you
have to
want me
ask
Going
Homer.
to turn into a phoenix and transcend reality altogether.
It's a possibility.
No, it's not. You're just going to be another loser fanboy of the Illuminati.
Yeah. Nah,
Go join the Shriners, bro.
I'm only fans of Machine Lies and Flow State and Hank and Joe.
But you
I'm
know
only
the
fans
guy
of you
who's
guys.
in charge of all the Freemasons or whatever, don't you?
Yeah, Lou
Yeah,
with Tommy,
David
right?
Cameron. Yeah.
I thought it was Lou with Tommy. It has Luma in his name.
Yeah.
So what's it like being friends with the
I got some
the Rothschilds?
You learn nothing at all. They just lie to you constantly. You try infiltrating them and they just put you down the fucking rabbit hole.
Do they lie to make themselves feel cooler?
Well, aren't the Rothschilds connected to the Freemasons?
It's beyond me or you.
Isn't that the same shit?
I don't know. I'm just being obnoxious because Cage has to one up people all the time.
Because
I don't really mean to. It's comedy. Sorry, Machine. My bad.
No.
And I'm not actually offended. I'm just kind of enjoying my snarky mood. Actually,
No, I was just
I
gonna
need
say
to smoke a cigarette. That's what I need to do. It's still dark.
Historically, there's a link between Rothschilds and the Freemasons, right?
Oh, that's why the conversation went beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, there is a definite link.
the Freemasons, as we know them, would be the workmen, the police for people like the Rothschilds and shit.
Yeah, like for example, you guys know Karl Marx?
Yeah.
Karl Marx, the guy who invented communism.
Who's
His
that?
dad was a 33-degree Freemason. But also, it's a well-known fact that Marx's family is actually related to the Rothschilds. So there's like Rothschilds, Freemasons. They're like they're sometimes the same thing.
I heard the same thing.
Yeah.
Cage is free. Somebody's saying free Cage that you're a good guy. I can neither disagree or agree nor disagree with the last part of that sentence, but he is already free.
Or is he?
I mean, he's a slave to his own hubris, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
I think Cage is a real deal. You know what I mean? But just
Stop taking up for Cage. Let me pick on him.
Yeah, Cage is
one of my favorite wrestlers.
Luke Cage is my favorite video game character.
You know that Johnny Cage or Liu Kang?
Wait,
you said Luke Cage.
Wait,
he's got them mixed up into
wait.
He's got them all blended
Johnny
into the
Cage
one.
Is a white boy. I thought Luke Cage. No, I didn't. Fuck, I'm gonna have to Google some shit. That I really.
I'm telling you, I already know the answer.
Johnny Cage and Liu Kang had a child.
How Cage is to the Illuminati, I am to Mortal Kombat. It's Liu Kang.
You guys ever seen the first Mortal Kombat with the Liu Kang? You guys know his brother? Like Liu Kang's brother that dies in the beginning of the film? He looks almost like Nachikita, doesn't he? I thought
maybe.
So. Yeah,
maybe the Mandela effect brought him back. Who knows?
Yeah, he gets killed by Shang Tsung. Your brother's soul is mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know why you guys don't know Luke Cage? Johnny Cage because he's a white, but Luke Cage is the black dude.
What, Luke Kang?
Luke Kang, right? Yeah.
Luke Kang.
Luke Cage.
The Asian.
No, the black dude.
Luke Cage is from
Oh,
Marvel
you're talking
Comics,
about
is what we're
Jax.
hearing.
Jax is a black guy in
Yeah,
Mortal
it's a
Kombat.
black comic.
Jax is who the character you choose when you're just gonna win by being a dick.
Yeah.
Uppercut, 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 uppercut. You cannot approach Jax on the uppercut shit.
Well, it's like what Bruce Lee said, right? Like I definitely face a person who makes their own technique, or I'd rather imagine the person that punches 1,000 times the same way or 1,000,000 times the same way. You know what I mean? Uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. It's a lot easier to deal with people that don't have a specific. All you need is a few moves to deal with people. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced you know what you're talking about, but we'll go with it. Once
I'm
again,
not good at explaining stuff.
I think it's the knowing part more than the explaining part. But we'll
It's like I'd rather. There's a quote about that. It's like I'd rather. I would not fear the person who comes up with all these different techniques, but the person that does the kick or the punch millions of times repetitively. That's the power. It's through repetition.
Yeah.
I'm mostly just fucking with you because that's for somehow you could put my targets on you a little bit.
No, it's all, bro. I don't.
It's
I
sort
don't
of
take
like how
anything
Hank
personally,
was going after TBE earlier.
Like I said,
I could
it has nothing
not.
to do with me. Yeah.
Hank had his jaws locked. I could not shake that dog loose at TBE with the gotchas.
Yeah, you could say with Jaws loose with TBE or Rocky or whoever. It's like I have control.
Uppercut that.
All right, Christmas cats. Who's gonna go first on the final words?
I'll say good night, y'all. Y'all have a good one out there. I appreciate you letting me up there, Flo.
Anytime.
Cutting out as well, Flo. You're starting off my Christmas trolling people with that negative energy. Do better next year.
This is my positive energy. It's just expressed positively for me, more than for.
I don't see anything negative Flo was saying at all, really. No.
Yeah. I don't know what Joe's talking about. Cage is better than Joe.
Bro. Keep it up.
Cage, you can have final words because you're better than Joe.
All right, everybody, shut the fuck up and listen. I'm gonna tell you the most important thing you've ever heard, all of you, right now.
I was gonna let you go last if you wanted, but
So
I guess you're going now.
Be very quiet. Listen, hold on, everyone. Be quiet.
Everybody, give Cage the floor, please. Are you fucking with this, Cage? I think we got punked. Sugar Tits, what do you think? Thanks, Sugar Tits. Love those tits. Big Daddy Ribcage?
Yeah, it's like we talked about Nietzsche for a minute, but yeah, a lot of his philosophy was based off Machiavelli. He was a student of Machiavelli.
Was it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. I had no idea that they were connected at all, but I'm also a fan of Machiavelli.
Yeah, I'll show you a connection there. In the Norton anthology version of The Prince by Robert, man, I forget the name, but yeah, I'll send you the book name, Amazon link. But yeah, it's it's like Machiavelli said. He said, those who are easily offended are easily manipulated.
Yes.
You got to guard from flattery. He said, you got to make men believe that you will not be offended when they're honest with you. To guard from flattery, because success comes with flattery. Anyways, have a blessed night, everyone.
That was a good point. And we should go more into in the future. I guess I'm just sort of getting my head into the, I just watched like a half an hour video explaining pretty well, but it was it was a broad cover of the morality thing. And it really like got me. I'm like, this is good shit. So, yeah. Anyways, we'll do that sometime. Have a good one. I appreciate that nice green background. All right, guys. Merry Christmas.